start off.
All right, guys, 16.1. After talking to a lot of different people, testing a lot of different things out, and seeing a couple people do this workout, we've narrowed it down to several things that we think are going to help you guys perform your best. Overall, this is a 20-minute workout. For those longer 20-minute workouts, without a doubt, the most important thing is the mindset that you have going into the workout, okay? This isn't a workout where you can just afford to sprint or to obsess about the clock. Something will go wrong. What you need to have is a proper mindset. We talked to Brad, who did very well this morning, and he explained that it's just a long grind. There will be things that you are forced to rest on, but you shouldn't necessarily plan rest. But you need to go in this workout knowing that it's going to be a long grind and that you're just going to have to decide to pick the barbell up. You're going to have to decide to get right to the burpees. You're going to have to decide to get on the bar or get back on the bar and keep grinding your way through this workout. A little bit more about the mindset. Just keep telling yourself, move on to the next thing. Just keep chipping away at it. You will reach a point in this workout. Brad said it was with about 8 to 11 minutes left where you think you went out too hard or you think you need to rest. Now's not the time to do it though. That's the time to keep moving. That's where those extra points are gained. Again, don't rest. Go in with the mindset of it's going to be a long grind. It's not necessarily going to be muscular. He did not explain any forearm exhaustion. He did break up the burp or the chest bar pull-ups, but other than that, there was not much of a grip failure situation. So, as for the movements,
Yeah, so we've got 3 main movements, obviously, and the way you strategize these is going to be a little bit based on your strengths and weaknesses. Based on my post last night, you might have gotten that already. For a lot of people, this is going to be basically a lung workout, and you're going to just need to kind of focus on the movement that's going to slow you down the most, which for a lot of people is probably going to be pull-ups. From watching the morning classes go, there wasn't anyone that was really dropping the bar at any point. So I feel like for most of us, it's going to be strategizing the pull-ups so you're not wasting a lot of time and you can get back to the lunges as quickly as possible. For the lunges, your grip width is really just going to matter on your mobility. So you need to find a grip width that's going to allow you to keep the elbows locked out at all times and have 0 forward position. All right, so if you feel like you have to be into a snatch grip to keep the shoulder completely open, then that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to wrist wrap yourself like crazy, go super wide, and just keep the bar over your traps. For those of us like Chip and Taylor who have really flexible shoulders, they're going to be able to and should be advised to go with a very narrow grip. It's going to stack the bar in a lot better position. And all you're going to really think about is when you're lunging, you want to make sure you limit how much forward lean you get, because the more you lean forward, the more you're going to have to be pulling the bar back. So as you lunge and step out, you want to think about keeping the chest facing up and drive up as you walk forward. All right.
a couple more things about the lunges. If I'm walking toward you, I don't want to be walking the tightrope, okay? That's going to make balance a lot more challenging. It's going to fire your glutes a lot more. At the hip, what you want to make sure you're not doing is tilting your pelvis forward, okay? Because what that's going to do is it's going to push the bar forward, and you're going to end up being chasing across, and you will end up getting some no reps. So really try to stack into that hollow position where you're nice and neutral. That way your spine is straight up, straight down, okay? Again, make sure you're kind of walking almost like you're doing a jerk stance, not walking on a tightrope, okay? Moving on to the bar facing burpees.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of people try different things this morning. I've seen people basically do a pike up and then hop over every time. I saw a lot of people just kind of stepping up. What we feel is the best option is going to be a single leg step up. So you're going to kip out of your burpee with one leg forward. Then you will trail and step up with the second leg into your jump. So it's going to be one fluid motion. I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to get this on the video, but basically you're going to come down into a burpee and fall flat. You're going to come up with one leg, step forward, and hop as one close position. So you want to make sure you're very, very close to the bar. I mean, your nose, lip should be right up on that bar. The further you are away from the bar, you're going to have to step further into your jump. So it's going to end up taking a lot more time across those 8 reps. Make sure that you're not trying to do any weird spin moves or turns. Make it simple. Just hop over and then turn around and go into your burpee. Don't try to be spinning and turning and doing a lot of extra movement. You want to stay as calm as possible in those burpees. Like I said in the post last night, you are literally trying to press just your upper body off the ground to bring the leg up. Don't try to push a lot of weight because you don't want to turn this into a shoulder workout. Anything else?
So we did our homework so that you guys wouldn't necessarily have to. This method is supported by heart rate monitor testing. It'll keep your heart rate at about 5 beats per minute lower, and it's also 5 seconds faster per 8 reps.
Yeah.
So,
for chest to bar, don't do a kipping motion that you aren't very, very confident in maintaining. Meaning, if you just got butterfly, you don't want to be messing with something that might go out the window under the stress of a competitive workout. I saw Brad start really good with the butterfly, but then he started getting a little shaky, and you start falling out of your positioning, and you're doing a lot of extra, breathing and work to try to get yourself back to the bar. So pick something that you know you can do basically under the most duress possible, and just stick with that from the beginning. Don't be trying to change things up right now. What he did was 3-3-2. I think for a lot of people, 4-4 or 3-3-2 would be a really smart idea. Just know that if you're going to go with broken sets, then you need to make sure that your rest transition immediately following your final pull-up is very, very quick to the bar. You're basically giving yourself more rest between the reps, all right, so that you can then keep moving consistently. If you're going to do a big unbroken set, then you're going to allow yourself to have a little bit more time breathing in transition. So make sure you realize that if you use that rest between, that you're not going to have it immediately following your final reps. You're going to have to get right to that bar, all right?
Going back to the longer EMOMs that we did, if you were someone who was able to complete those unbroken throughout the whole duration of the EMOMs, without a doubt, go unbroken. The situation you're looking at here is about every 2 minutes you've got to do 8, which is much lesser than we were doing in our actual EMOM. So that's kind of a good reference point for you there. Moving back to transitions, pretty much expect the hardest transition to be from the burpees to picking up the bar. Okay, you can count on that one being probably the most difficult one to do. But again, Brad made up a lot of time and did a great job just moving quickly by never resting between movements. He just went right from one thing to the next, okay? Chest to bar, set up a box if you need to. Figure out how to get the end of your lunges as close to the bar that you need. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's 8 seconds a set there if you're doing butterfly. So if you're breaking it into 4-4, you're losing like 4 or 5 seconds there. That's essentially the difference between burpee techniques. So that's not something that you should necessarily worry about. The lunge speed and the burpees and the transitions is much more important than whether or not you go unbroken on the chest to bar. Okay, so don't get hung up on that. All right, so hopefully we answered everything there as far as technique and strategy goes. We're gonna move on to the warm-up, okay? There's really nothing cute or special about this warm-up. It's just very effective and it'll get you ready for the workout, okay? So you're gonna start out with a salt bike for 5 minutes. After the assault bike, you're going to be not staying warm necessarily, so get a fairly high intensity that literally gets your heart rate up for a while, okay? You want to legitimately get warm, so don't just kind of go through the motions, text, talk to your friends. Go hard-ish for 5 minutes, okay? Then you're going to do some general rolling, okay? So this is normally what people do first when they get into the gym, but it's actually going to be more effective if you start by raising your core body temperature. So maybe your glutes are sore, maybe your arms are sore. Whatever you like to roll out, move from the assault bike to rolling those things out. After that, you're going to switch to some specific stretching. Your chest is going to affect your overhead position immensely. So what we want you to do is do this stretch right here on the wall that Eric's demonstrating, or you can do just a basic like into the wall like that with your elbow at 90 degrees, just doing a static stretch, okay? Really getting those shoulders open. Then do some sort of stretch for your shoulders as well. I know we all have a favorite, but do a static stretch, so not necessarily a band-assisted stretch, okay?
A good one that's going to prep you for that overhead position is probably getting your tricep and teres a little bit, so you can literally just dig your elbow in and just kind of work into this a little bit, spend some time trying to get that elbow closer to your ear.
Then you're going to move on to your hips. Your hips being tight is going to mess up your spinal position, like I said on the lunges, so really get into your hips with just a basic calf stretch, okay? Then after that, we're going to use some band-assisted stretches. We're going to do a band-assisted lat stretch, which we've all done before. and then you're gonna do a thoracic opener. We have demonstrated my favorite recently, which is the double arm here, where you spend 1 minute going all the way down to this position, and then 1 minute on the way up, okay? And then you could also do like where you're laying into the rings or laying onto a box, anything that's gonna open up your shoulder flexors, okay? Then you're gonna move on to Samson stretch, which is just the basic green banded stretch, which is pulling your hip forward where you're squeezing the glute on that same side that is banded, okay? Then at this point you should be feeling very mobile, you should be feeling loose, and you should be feeling warm. And we're gonna get to the movement specific warm up, okay? So every 2 minutes on the minute for 10 minutes, what you're gonna do is 30 seconds of a higher intensity assault bike, higher than your general warm up. And then you're gonna spend 90 seconds doing things like lunges or hollow open kips on the pull-up bar or burpee technique, practicing the step, okay? Doing things that you're actually gonna be doing in the workout, okay? So you're gonna do 5 sets of that. You can start building in weight up to the actual overhead walking lunge weight and build up to the actual pull-up if you'd like to, okay? And then after you do that for 10 minutes, you're gonna do 2 rounds of 5 overhead walking lunges at 95 or 65 pounds for women, 4 bar facing burpees, 4 chest to bar, okay? You wanna go at game pace here, okay? It's not gonna be the same amount of time that a normal round takes you because you're doing less reps, but you wanna move at that pace that you're gonna be feeling shortly afterward, okay?
You're just priming the system to be aware of what it's going to feel like so you don't go into shock in those first 5 minutes. So although you might feel like you might wear yourself out, you won't. Doing 2 rounds of this is just going to get your body ready for the workout. And so we're going to rest 5 to 10 minutes. Basically, some people cool down faster than others. So if you know you cool down pretty quickly, rest less, about 5 minutes. You want to set yourself up, depending on when you're going tonight, to have those last 5 to 10 minutes of rest happen, obviously 5 to 10 minutes before that heat starts. So you need to work back from when you signed up for your heat time. Essentially, this should take 15 minutes, so 5 plus 10 here, then another 10, so that's 25 minutes, and this last part is maybe 3 minutes, okay? And then, so all together, you're looking at, under 25 minutes of kind of warm up, and then 5 to 10 minutes. So basically show up 30 minutes before your heat assignment, ready to start warming up.
Based on the 30-minute window, as far as like nutrition supplementation goes, let's say we normally do an hour of strength and you take like your BCAAs or your banana right before you do strength. Well, then you need to do that half an hour earlier. That way it's hitting your body at the same time that you normally do conditioning. Yeah. Otherwise you're gonna feel different. So again, take your pre-workout, take your BCAAs, your banana, whatever you normally do, take that a good half an hour before your warm-up. So that way you're not feeling overstimulated and on pins and needles at the beginning of the workout, okay? We're gonna get this onto the blog, and you guys can text us or comment with any questions.